Should have strapped up.
All right.
I want the baby because I don't want to baby. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to.
Like I said, I just don't want any kids.
Quick refresher for you guys out there. The guy in the call is Fresh from the Fresh and Fit podcast. A very controversial podcast to say the least. There's no other way around it. This is just plain reckless. Having unprotected sex with a girl that you've only known for a month is a recipe for disaster. Especially if you don't want kids. I couldn't even imagine a co-parenting situation with these two because it sounds like they barely understand each other right now.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
So, yeah, you make a really good point about how they barely understand each other. Maybe that's why Fresh sounded so surprisingly calm to me. Like, you would think they were talking about some trivial topic. So, you want me to get rid of the baby? I don't want a kid.
I want to keep the baby.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just don't want any kids.
He was so like
Chill.
so chill, so monotone.
Maybe it's because he thought it was fake. Because I heard this. I'm not going to lie. It sounded like a setup from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Because she would ask him questions. And then, like, she would repeat the question and then restate what he said, but in a very, like, a very way to make him sound bad. Like, she'd restate it that make him sound terrible.
No.
Okay, so what you gonna do? And what you gonna do to me?
Nothing. Well, why did I do anything to you?
Nothing?
She'd be like, so you want me to get rid of it? Like,
Right. It's like she's trying to bait him. Why did she even record him in the first place, you think? Like, what was the point of it? What is her end goal of recording him and then not only recording him, but posting it online? Because she leaked it, right?
yeah.
Why?
That's what leads me to believe, did he actually go in there unprotected? Because he generally sounded surprised. And the way that he made, I think that's why he's so calm too, because he's like, there's no way it would even be able to happen.
That's impossible.
So there's two reasons normally for that. One, like, you either really know the girl, like, you know the girl, you know her body, you know her ovulation schedule. And the other reason is that you just think she's completely capped. I think it's number two, because he's only been messing with her for a month.
Perhaps, right? I will say that I've been in situations that are like, I'm weird. I'm opposite, right? So if it's a situation that's very extreme that most people would overreact to, I'm calm. If it's a smaller situation most people will be chill about, I'm not. So maybe, I mean, he's kind of just like...
No, because that's so true. Because this man got in an accident before and was like, just like easy breezy.
I don't know. It's just how I am. But, so maybe Fresh is kind of just like, bro, I don't know. But listen, if it was, let's say that, do you think he wrapped it up with her?
I mean, there's no way that, I don't know. I don't know at this point. Because at first I'm thinking no, but then now that I'm hearing it again, I'm like, maybe. Because this is really reckless. Let's be honest, this is super reckless.
It is reckless.
Super reckless. Especially, like, I don't know. Is this one of the girls that appeared on the show? Like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen, is one of the girls who appeared on the show?
I've seen a clip of her.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's on the show. She's on the show before.
Okay. Because let's not act surprised. They're on a show with a bunch of women. One or two of them are going to mess with the women. There's a bunch of beautiful women. Let's be honest, guys. You're a guy, you're a straight male, you like women, you see a bunch of pretty women, you're going to mess with one of them. Is it the best business practice? Absolutely not. Should you mess money in business? Absolutely not. But let's be honest, it happens. Still a bad decision, though.
I think the moral of the story, to be Captain Obvious, is, listen, two things. Two things. First, easier said than done, but don't lay down with someone and do things with someone who you know you probably wouldn't want to raise a kid with. And again, easier said than done, because some guys, for example, don't want to have kids at all.
Yeah.
And maybe they have a conversation ahead of time like, hey, I don't want kids. Do you want kids? No, I don't want kids. Cool, let's not have them. And maybe they are, pro...
Yeah, pro A.
You know. And so then maybe that's a decision to make. I'm not saying that's me. Maybe that's the situation. But again, everyone has the right to change their mind. So maybe she says that in the beginning and then it happens and then she's like, I want to keep it. I guess what I'm trying to say is, since you know it's a possibility something like this could happen with anyone you get with, at least get with the women, if you're going to do sleep around, that if it was to happen, you could stomach at the very least. It sounds terrible. Or at least be okay with...
Or at least understand what you're saying.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying, did that sound like a regular conversation to anybody? I mean, listen, it just sounds like they barely understand each other. If I went to a foreign country and I try to talk to someone from a foreign country, I wouldn't understand what they're saying either.
I've been in that experience far too many times lately, and it's very annoying. I was on a trip recently with my good friend. We went to a country that they don't speak English. I mean, you know what I mean. The English is not the main language in that country. Went out and visited one of his family friends, or his family, part of his family. And we all went out for dinner. And it was so uncomfortable. It wasn't uncomfortable. I was just kind of annoyed because I couldn't.
Yeah, you're like a silent head. Like
Yeah,
you
I
just,
couldn't really engage that much. You know, it was broken and it's just kind of like
it's awkward.
it's awkward. It's
Then
awkward.
you just gotta sit there and smile. You're like,
Right. Or you might say a couple things, or you say it, he has a translator, you say a joke, he translates your joke, it doesn't hit the same. It's like, all right. But, so yeah, I get your point.
overall, this is a bad decision because you're running a male self-improvement podcast. So your supporters are holding you to a higher standard. And on top of that, you can't fall for something that your day one supporters would know not to do.
And he probably knows that.
Yeah.
He knows that.
Yeah.
He'll probably come on the show, I guess, and then kind of, well, maybe not. I don't know, but I would assume he go on the show and address it and be like, hey, guys, you know, I messed up. We teach you not to do it. This is why it happened. This is why I won't do it again. Blah, 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 blah. You know, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, listen, everybody's human. This is one of those situations. It's kind of like the pastor who gets someone pregnant from the church. Like, they're held to a higher standard, but at the end of the day, I mean, they still, you know, fall victim to the same things that everybody else does. They're still people at the end of the day. Ultimately, man, this is a terrible decision. I hope that this is fake and not true. I think there's nothing worse than someone having a kid who doesn't want a kid, because I think having a kid should be a great moment in somebody's life. And if they don't want it, overall, I don't think that's the best way to have a kid entered in this world.
I agree.
So.
I agree. You're 100% right. Now, thankfully, a lot of times the guy comes around, it seems, sometimes.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but we'll see. Well, hopefully it's not true. If he doesn't want a kid, hopefully she's not actually pregnant. I wouldn't wish for her to lose the baby if she is pregnant.
No, definitely not.
Not at all. But hopefully she's not. But if she is, consequences of your actions, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's real. All right, guys. So if you think Fresh made a good decision, leave a like, leave a comment. If you think he made a bad decision, you're probably nuts. But leave a like, leave a comment. All right, decision makers, we're out. Don't get anyone pregnant.